Good morning and welcome to Muscle Maintenance with InShape Fitness. I'm Kim Watkins and today's Monday. Yes, it is the start of a new work week and it is the end of March, March 25th. This is the level 1 workout. We have a new series ready for you in place today, and today's workout is all about the fundamentals. We're going to do the easiest versions of each of the 6 moves that we'll be doing all week, but fundamental building blocks that will help you develop greater skill in terms of efficiency in exercising, really able to contract muscles in the right way and distribute your body weight in the right way so that you can get the most out of these short workouts, which sustainability is all about, adding exercise to your life without it being a chore, without it being a real irritant to the regular life that you want to enjoy. So if you don't like spending time in the gym, and I know I don't, this is a really great way to skip it and not feel guilt. You will contract and work all of your major muscles, all of your minor muscles, and function, develop greater function in terms of the things that you want to do. With that, why don't you stand up for me if you're not already standing. Make sure your shoes aren't on. You really want to work your feet, so you want to grip the floor, and that means you don't want your shoes on. I have my pajamas on, and I do all of my exercises in the morning in my pajamas before I even wake up my kid and have a cup of coffee. Just get up, get it over with. The first thing we're going to do to warm up is march in place for 30 seconds. So stand up straight, do a little postural systems check where you make sure that your shoulders are back in line with your ears, your hips are straight, your pelvis rather is fully vertical, so tuck in the tailbone if you have a tendency to let your butt stick out a little bit, and lift the knees up to hip level, landing lightly on the balls of your feet. The time is going, so that's 30 seconds for marching in place, swinging your arms forward and back, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Very important part, develop this breathing, a rhythm of breathing that you can take through the entire workout. You don't want to passively exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide at any point during exercise, because the blood relies on that additional oxygen coming into your body, and you want to get the carbon dioxide that's being generated out of the body. All right, so that's 30 seconds of marching. Now what I want you to do is bring your feet together and extend your arms over your head. Press your palms together where there's no air getting in between your two palms. So really focus on the biceps next to your ears. Your arms are perfectly straight and you're pressing your palms together. We simply call this an eye stick. 30 seconds is starting, and all you're going to focus on here is the contraction of every single possible muscle you can think of. So the more muscles you know, the more that you're going to contract, which means if you're in your feet, your bare feet rather, you're going to squeeze those foot muscles, kind of grip the floor with your toes on all 4 corners. Contract the muscles in your legs. Squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. Kegel exercises are so important in terms of controlling isometric contraction as a process in your body. And the more that you contract muscles in your body when you're sitting, so having perfect posture and focusing on tightening your abs, the better off you're going to be in terms of metabolism. All right, the very first move. Now we're going to go into the actual first of the 6 moves. The first is actually another march. So we're going to be doing a series of kicks this week, and in each of the versions that we're going to be doing, the kicking component requires you to stabilize your weight on one leg as you lift the other knee up. And then you'll do something else in the weeks in the series to come. But just today, you're going to go back to that march, put your hands on your hips, or if you'd like to get your heart rate up a little bit higher, bring your arms in front of your face in a kickboxing protection sort of stance. All right, 30 seconds is underway. So lift the knee up really high, even higher than you did in the warm-up march. The purpose of the warm-up march is just to get the blood flowing and lubricate the joints and everything. Now you're focusing on precision, on the exact momentum that you need to lift. Pause at the top and then slowly lower your foot down, lifting the other as soon as the ball of the foot touches the floor. You've got about 6 seconds left. You're doing great. Keep breathing. And now separate your feet about shoulder width apart. Focus on the position of your foot for a second here. You want the pinky toe and the heel in line on each foot. You do not want your toes to turn out. Now shift your weight to your heels. In fact, if you can kind of let your toes float a little bit in this, it's fine. Hands are either on your hip or out forward in front of your body for balance. You're going to sit down partially. It's called a shallow squat or a modified squat. So you're going to sit down and back partially into an imaginary chair, 6 to 8 inches. If you're already pretty fit and you feel like you want to do the whole squat, that's fine. That's what we're doing tomorrow. But just take your time with this, moving slowly and pausing at the bottom before you switch directions. That apex, that switch in direction, is the most important component to any repetition. You want to control that motion completely, utterly, with your body, with your brain. And 30 seconds goes so fast when I'm rambling on about the mechanics of everything. Okay, now you're going to lower your body to the floor and do a plank on your hands for 30 seconds. So lower your body down to the floor. Your hands are on the floor about shoulder width apart. In fact, they're right underneath your shoulders vertically. And then walk your legs back, resting on the balls of your feet. And 30 seconds starts now. Now, what you want to do is keep your butt down. You want to make a right triangle with the floor, where your body is the hypotenuse, the floor is the long leg, and then your arms are the short leg, right? And you want to make sure that you're distributing your body weight evenly between the left side and the right side. If you're right-handed, you're probably inadvertently putting more pressure on the right side. It's okay. It happens to everybody. Just focus on it. 30 seconds is over, so let's move on to the next thing. You're actually going to flip to a reverse plank now, which will give you another opportunity to be the hypotenuse with your body. You're just going to be inverted. So now your hands are going to be on the floor, but your torso, your chest is actually facing the ceiling, and you're resting on your heels. And once again, time starts now. This time you want to lift your hips. Try to keep those hip flexors fully extended, abs totally engaged. It'll be forced, but you really want to focus on it. And then squeeze your glutes a little bit. Work that back of the leg. Very nice. This opens up the chest. You have no idea. Most people think that they have all these problems with their back because they have problems with their back. But really, a lot of the problems people have with their necks and their backs, sometimes even the lower back and the back of the leg, is due to this, the kinetic chain. Is all of everything's sort of related. But your rounded shoulders, tighten those chest muscles. When you open up your shoulders and really force the chest to be open and loosen up those chest muscles and use them in the right way, you are going to enter a new world of functional capability. All right, moving right along here, let's do the hip bridge next. So lower your body down onto the floor completely. Your back is on the floor, your head is on the floor, your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor. Hip width apart, pinky toes and heels in line again. You're going to lift the hips up into the air, and 30 seconds starts now. This is the hip bridge. It's a standard hip bridge. You're just going to hold this position. Tomorrow we'll start moving, but really make sure that you press the toes into the floor in order to prevent the heel from absorbing all of your body weight here. In some cases, what ends up happening is that your quadricep muscle will absorb most of your body weight with that heel placement. When you press the toes into the floor, you activate the back of the leg. A couple more seconds. Last move is a Russian twist. So now put your butt down, bring your knees in a little bit closer to your torso, and lean back. Make a little sort of press your hands together, or just make sure they're close together, and twist all the way to the right. So use your shoulders as the guide there. So you really want the shoulders and the whole torso to twist to the right. Put your hands, both the hands on the floor, then twist all the way over to the left and put your hands on the floor. That's the Russian twist. Time starts now. Keep breathing. The more that you lean back, the more engaged the abdominal cavity is, the muscles in the abdominal cavity. So you really want to focus on that lean, and to the extent that you can handle it for another 7 or 8 seconds here. Go faster. You might get a little dizzy if you go a bit faster, but it's almost over here. 3 seconds. Very good. Okay, time for a break, so stand back up. Take a couple of deep breaths. We're going to start the second set, and the second set is a flow set. So the first set, we guided you along. You have instruction between each of the moves, so there's a break between each of the moves. In the second set, the flow set, you do not stop in between the exercises. So we're going to go with that high knee march to start. And that starts in 3 seconds. 2, and go. Time starts now. Go ahead and lift those arms up in front of your face like a kickboxer would protect his or her body from kicks and marching, bringing the hips up high, pausing at the top, landing lightly on the balls of your feet, keeping your back straight, abs engaged. 12 seconds. Very good. Keep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You are almost done. Just past the halfway, 10-minute and halfway through that 10-minute mark. So you are going to be finished in like 13 minutes as a whole. It's not a long workout, and this is an easy workout. So hopefully you're getting through it pretty well. Let's do that shallow squat now. So separate your feet about shoulder width apart, and time starts now. Remember, you're shifting your weight to your heels. Inhaling on your way down, you exhale as you press your heels into the floor and contract those glutes as you lift the torso back up. Depending on how deeply you go, the more you might feel those glutes and the heels kind of engage in terms of the additional help. If you're just using that or going down into that shallow squat, you might not feel all that much action in terms of the muscle movement, but really want to focus here on control, so that tomorrow when we do the standard squat, you will have a complete understanding of exactly what to do them perfectly. A squat is one of the most perfect single exercises. It doesn't really, it will get your heart rate up if you move dynamically. It contracts your glutes. It works your hips. It forces the stability of your core. You're done, by the way, moving on to the plank on your hands. So you're down on the floor. Give you 2 seconds here to get onto the floor, and time starts now. Remember, your butt should be down, make a perfectly straight line from the head to the toes, and squeeze your glutes to activate an additional layer of contraction in that core. For a lot of people, especially progressive fitness individuals, the butt is part of the core. So you really want to focus on the contraction in that region, because then that in turn helps you focus in on the pelvic floor region, and it forces everything to kind of work together, which from a core strength perspective is the best way to attack the core. Okay, now you're going to turn your body over. Let's do a reverse plank. So turn the body over. Now your hands are on the floor, fingers facing forward again, right underneath the shoulders. Your heels now are on the floor, toes up in the air, and time starts now. Two moves left. I said 13 minutes before. I guess it's really going to be closer to 15 minutes. I'm sorry. But you'll be okay. Still an easy workout in terms of the fundamentals, and we are going to do some really great stuff this week. It's going to be intense leading up to Friday, but you will be learning a lot about your body, I promise. Okay, now down for the hip bridge. On your back, knees bent, and time starts now. Remember to press those toes into the floor. Big inhale through your nose, big exhale through your mouth. And you are doing super well. Almost halfway through the hip bridge move. And one last is that Russian twist coming up here in 15 seconds. Make sure that you are pressing the toes down and keeping the hips up high for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now sit up for me. Last move. Really go for broke here. This is the Russian twist, and time starts now. Good. Twisting to the right, twisting to the left. Start slowly. Make sure that you don't let momentum get involved in the mechanics too soon. Momentum can help you out when you get that to that aerobic level where you really want to kind of focus on the fast movement. But when you're figuring out exactly what the momentum or the motion should be, when you move slowly and you completely control your body, your muscles and the tissues have to work that much harder. So always rely on slow movement at the beginning before you start moving quickly. It's fun to sort of like a lot of people try to get it over with by going quickly, thinking that the repetitions are all about, or all the thing that matters, when that's not the case. It really isn't. All right, with that, I will sign off for the day. It is Monday. Again, it's the level 1 workout. This is going to be a great week of routines, and tomorrow we'll have our level 2 exercise routine. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please reach out to me or my team at inshape-fitness.com. You can also find us on Facebook or Twitter, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.